Before I start this video, I'd like to give a shout out to KDotSZN. His name is on the screen right now. You can follow him on Twitter. He is the one who made my profile picture and my cover picture. Shout out to him because they look fire as fuck, and I gotta give him love because honestly, those hoes are fire. So you guys make sure you go follow him on Twitter. His social media will be down below in the description box. Now, let's get on with this video.
My bitch drive a all white rank. Couldn't hit it if you niggas had aim. Lanes can't call and you lame. You had it and you lost it, all the shame. I can buy a Billy, don't talk to me. For a show 150, don't talk to me.
At this point, if you are still allowing distractions to affect the way you play, then this is the wrong franchise to be a part of, and you should just come and be like, listen, I can do this. Like, seriously, you're distracted by playoff pushes and all the stuff that's been talked about this year. That just come and do your job. We do our job at a high level, and that's not a distraction. That's what you want. That's what you want every game. You want to feel like you're fighting for something.
LeBron James is one of the greatest players that the NBA has ever seen. He's a three-time champion and a three-time Finals MVP, 4 times MVP, multiple-time All-Star, multiple-time All-NBA performer. But I am here to say that as of this moment going forward, I don't think anybody can call LeBron James the best player in the world until he shows it and leads this Los Angeles Lakers team to the playoffs. Because quite frankly, I am very disappointed and disgusted in the performance that LeBron James has shown this season. And until he improves it and shows that he can lead this team to some type of relevancy in the NBA other than the fact that they're talked about because they're the Lakers, I cannot put LeBron James as the best player in the NBA because things are just getting straight up ridiculous. What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Young Mustard, and today we're going to talk about why LeBron James is the problem with the Los Angeles Lakers. Now look, I thoroughly understand that there are numerous things that are impacting the Los Angeles Lakers. As for one, a lot of the decisions made by the front office were very questionable coming into this season, even though that's on LeBron as well, as he encouraged them to get those players, but nonetheless, the front office should have known better. And also Luke Walton, I think, has made some questionable decisions as the coach. Even though I do think he is a really solid coach, I don't think he's bad. I do think he got the job a bit too early because of the success of the Golden State Warriors. And I also understand that Lonzo Ball has missed a lot of games due to his ankle injury, and that has definitely impacted them on the defensive side of the ball because without question, Lonzo is their best defensive player. That's really not even a debate. And sure, when LeBron tries, he is probably their best defensive player, but he doesn't try, so I really don't care about that. But like I said earlier, LeBron has got to step up. For one, let's start off with this. The Lakers roster, I can't really put this on LeBron for this situation, but it sucks when you have a group of young guys that you promise they're the future of the organization, but once a player like Anthony Davis declares that he's trying to be traded from New Orleans, you're basically saying, hey, we're going to trade all of our young assets, and these are the young assets that you've promised that they are going to be the future. How are they going to play when they don't know which game is going to be their last game as a Los Angeles Laker? I mean, just imagine being told you're the future just so they can trade you for another player that, quite frankly, in your mind, you're saying, damn, how is this even fair to me? Because these are players that they don't even know how long they have on the roster, and it creates such a toxic environment where nobody really wants to play. And they're young players. It's not like they're veterans or players that understand how the NBA works and understand that, sure, sometimes I'm going to be traded, but that's for the greater good of the organization. These are players that are in their second, third years in the NBA and have numerous expectations. And then you also add in that you have veterans such as Rajon Rondo and Lance Stevenson and JaVale McGee, who are on one-year contracts that are trying to get paid after this past season and are trying to prove something. And then you add a whole nother aspect of LeBron James, who's trying to win a championship and close the gap between him and Michael Jordan. It's so much going on in that locker room. How can all these forces that have different goals and agendas and have different mindsets each and every day due to different circumstances, the fact that they all have to coexist, it doesn't create a good environment. And then you also add in the fact that there are rumors every single day of the fact that LeBron James wants Luke Walton out of town, or Magic and Pelinka want Luke Walton out of town. I mean, think about how that also affects Luke Walton being the coach of the organization. And I know a lot of people are going to say, what about what the Lakers were before LeBron James got hurt? Well, first of all, they were 20-14. That's only 34 games. And yes, they could literally lose 2 games next and they'll be out of the playoffs. That's how tight the Western Conference was at that point in time. So I really don't think them being 20-14 and being the 4th seed in the Western Conference is that big of a deal, especially when you consider the fact that at any point in time, losing just 3 games could knock you out of the playoffs. So I don't think that really matters. And when you look at what LeBron James and what the Lakers have been since LeBron has returned, it's been atrocious. As LeBron James numbers, yes, he's averaging 25, 11, and 11, but he's also shooting 47% from the field, which is below LeBron's standards. I don't want to hear 47% from the field is not that bad. And he's not even shooting league average from 3, not even his average from 3 over the past few seasons. He's shooting 31%. That's not good at all. And he's also shooting 65% from the free throw line, which is completely unacceptable. And honestly, I will say this right now, LeBron James from the free throw line has got to get it together because it has been absolutely horrendous. And honestly, when you look at what the Los Angeles Lakers have been over the past 8 games that LeBron James has been back, you cannot tell me that LeBron James has not impacted this roster, especially on the defensive side of the ball, in a negative way. LeBron James, in the month of January when he was injured, they were 6th in defensive rating. Since he's been back, they are 28th in defensive rating. You want to know the rest of the numbers for the Lakers in the past 8 games? They're 1st in turnovers. They're 29th in free throw percentage with 69%. They're 28th in plus minus with a plus minus of minus 11.9. They're 27th in offensive rating. They're 28th in defensive rating. And they are also 25th in assist to turnover ratio. LeBron James is not leading this roster to any type of success since he's been back. And I know a lot of people are going to be saying, oh, well, he's not in the right shape. First of all, I understand his injury. I get it. It was a groin injury. But I don't think that injury was too severe to where he's not in the right shape. I don't think that's really a legitimate argument. And honestly, some of these games, they're still winnable. They lost by over 40 to the Indiana Pacers without Oladipo. They got blown out by the Philadelphia 76ers by 23 points. They lost to the Pelicans by 13, even though they didn't have Anthony Davis. They lost to the Atlanta Hawks, who are trying to lose as many games as possible. And they just lost to the Memphis Grizzlies yesterday without Marc Gasol. I'm going to say that because before they even traded him, they were not even a playoff team, and their playoff aspirations were already over. So imagine you're a team that's struggling to make the playoffs. You're trying to make it. Every single game is almost like a playoff game for you, and you lose to a team that is expected to be one of the top 15 picks, maybe top 10 picks in next year's draft. That is pitiful, that is disgraceful, and LeBron's effort in that game was completely unacceptable from a player that is widely considered the best player in the NBA. And what I find funny is that LeBron James is not taking any type of accountability for this. The fact that he's coming out here saying that they're used to losing and they have no sense of urgency. First of all, you have people such as Rajon Rondo, such as JaVale McGee, such as Tyson Chandler. All of them are champions. And what's ironic also is that all 3 of those titles came at your expense. So I find that pretty funny. So he has to be talking about those young players. He can't be talking about those guys. So when you look at the young players, those guys are showing more effort on the defensive side of the ball than you are. Now, sure, offensively, they can be a little inconsistent, but they're young players. These are players that why would they even want to trust you at times on the court when you wanted to just trade them about a month ago? So I find that pretty funny when it comes to that aspect. And now you want them to step up and you want them to do something that, quite frankly, you're not even doing. You're not even showing effort on the defensive side of the ball, so why would they even want to step up? Mentally, they were not at a good place hearing trade rumors about them for another player when they were promised to be the future. But now, the best player on their team, who was the superstar, who was supposed to be the leader, is blaming it on them when they are showing more effort on that side of the ball, and you can see it on their faces on the court. I mean, I literally saw a play from Kyle Kuzma where he was furious at LeBron James for not playing defense, and then on the next play, LeBron took the charge from James Harden against the Rockets. And that game they won because LeBron showed some effort on that defensive side of the ball. That's all it takes. All people are asking LeBron to do. They're not asking him to be a miracle worker. If they were losing these games and he's showing effort, that's way better. But they're losing these games, and a lot of that comes down to LeBron. I mean, just look at games like the Hawks, games like the Grizzlies. Hell, I'll even say the Rockets game, even though they won. LeBron is not showing effort. And if you are the best player in the world, or at least are considered widely as the best player in the world, and you can't lead this team to the playoffs, I'm sorry, I have to take that title away from you, because you got guys such as Anthony Davis last year who had a subpar roster and took his team to the second round of the playoffs. Now, sure, this year it hasn't worked out for him, but you can definitely look at multiple examples of players with even less talent taking their teams to the playoffs. Now, sure, the West is tougher, but it's not like getting to the playoffs is an impossible feat this year. I mean, this year, you got teams like the Clippers and the Kings that going into this season, people thought the Lakers were better than, but right now they have a better record. It's shameful, it's disgusting, and quite frankly, until LeBron James fixes his attitude and his approach to the side of the ball that is defensively, he is not going to change. And honestly, that best player in the world title, we need to take it away from him. But in conclusion, LeBron James, you've got to step it up, because right now you are the biggest problem with the Los Angeles Lakers. And I'm not going to come up here and make excuses for LeBron, because even though I am a fan of LeBron James, I mean, I've watched this guy on my television screen ever since I was basically born. But LeBron James, he's got to step up. He's got to be the guy that takes control of this team, because these young guys are watching him. And for him to criticize these young players, I mean, I'm very disappointed, because he's not even holding his end of the bargain. And quite frankly, I can see why a lot of players don't want to play with LeBron, because this is the type of shit that they're going to have to go through if they're his teammate. So you guys in the comment section, y'all let me know if you agreed or disagreed with me down below. Also, you guys drop a like down below. Also, you guys make sure you follow me on Twitter. The link is down below in the description box. And also, you guys make sure you follow me on Instagram as well. That link is also in the description box. Y'all have a great day. This is your boy Young Mustard signing out. Peace.